Better negotiating is vital to bottom-line profit and competitive strength. And Jim Thomas, America's negotiating coach, can make it happen. Attorney, author, speaker, and coach, he's one of America's foremost negotiators, the man U.S. presidents turn to for negotiating advice. For 3 decades, leading organizations have chosen him to negotiate their most important agreements, from arms control talks with the Russians to the biggest corporate mergers and labor contracts. Jim can show your audience the way to powerful negotiating.
Guess who might be the worst negotiators on earth? Well, Americans are wonderful people, and we are brave, clean, cheerful, thrifty, and reverent. But when it comes to bargaining, it's nip and tuck between Americans and Germans for dead last. Americans despise negotiating. We hate to do it. We are bottom-line people. We use phrases like, let's stop beating around the bush, let's lay our cards on the table, let's turn all our cards face up, let's cut to the chase, do we have a deal or what? Americans negotiate very much like John Wayne, and if you remember, John Wayne didn't negotiate. How do we get to be like this? There have been a number of theories raised over the years, everything from population density to Puritan ethic. Just for fun, I created my own theory. I'm going to share it with you. It's called Thomas's immigrant theory of negotiating in America. Here's the theory. Those people back in the old country who couldn't work out a deal where they were, they all left, and they came here. That's the theory. We are a nation of self-selected non-negotiators. This is the homeland of all the people who split. You won't let me practice my religion? That's it. I'm out of here. I'm going to America. You won't let me vote? Don't try to talk me out of it. I'm going to America. I'm out of here. In fact, our national motto shouldn't be, in God we trust. It should be, I'm out of here. From all over the world, the I'm out of here people went to New York. They tried to work out a deal in New York, and those people who couldn't, what did they do? They left. Using the same approach, they went west. St. Louis, I'm out of here. Kansas City, I'm out of here. Denver, I'm out of here. Dribbling across the country from east to west like Johnny Appleseed, till finally the wretched refuse of the original I'm out of here people washed up on the shores of California, having run out of places to go. So according to my theory, A, the overall skill level of American negotiators should be atrocious, representing, as we do, the collected I'm out of here people of the planet Earth. And B, the people in New York should tend to be the best negotiators in the country, and the people in California should tend to be the worst negotiators in the country. And you know what? That's exactly what we've got. In New York, it's perfectly okay to walk into a camera store, there's a $400 Nikon behind the counter, and a New Yorker would say, yo, Vinny, come here a minute. Give me a price on this camera. Give me another price. Sharpen your pencil. Sharpen it some more. Come on, you're killing me over here. I'm dying. You're busting my chops. What are you, crazy? I thought we were friends. You try doing that on Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills. All right? They'll think you're from Mars. In fact, they'll call security on you. All right, let's move on to Rule 2, start high. I'm going to show you how Ronald Reagan used Rule 2. In his second term of office, Reagan had the following problem. He had 3 million federal employees on the payroll. They hadn't had a raise in 2 years, so they're a little bit upset about this. Simultaneously, he's got a big budget deficit, so he can't give them a raise in year 3 either. Now he's concerned, though, that if he stiffs them for the 3rd straight year, they might try to sabotage his political agenda. So Reagan's question is, how do I stiff 3 million federal employees for the 3rd consecutive year, but have them like it? He could do it like an American, in which event he would call a press conference and say, let's lay our cards on the table. Here are the numbers. You can see them as well as I can. I couldn't possibly give you a pay increase this year. I'm sorry. Have a nice day. Spock would have been proud. Instead, he did it like a Russian, like a Japanese. Called a press conference, same reasons, but he concludes with, and for all these reasons, which you can clearly see, I'm going to have to cut your pay by 5%. End of press conference. I'm not making this up. 3 million federal employees simultaneously say, what? I can't pay my bills as it is. You can't cut my pay. Reagan lets this go for 2 weeks, 2 weeks of complete commotion in the federal workforce. Finally, at the end of the 2-week period, he had another press conference, and he announces, I've thought about this. I hate to do this to you federal employees. You're my kind of people. I care about you. I've lost sleep over it. I've talked to Nancy about it. She's talked to Frank Sinatra about it. And we decided we're not going to cut your pay by 5% after all. In fact, I care about you so much, we're going to keep your pay just exactly where it is. We will find that money. We will find that money somewhere else. And 3 million federal employees simultaneously go, oh, thank God, that was close. Boy, we dodged the bullet on that one, didn't we? What a nice man he is. This isn't vaudeville. It's pro wrestling. But you know what? It worked. And it's been working for 10,000 years, and it'll work for you today. Let's say that you list your house with your agent on Saturday for $500,000. The next day, your agent shows up at your front door unannounced, and she has a full-price $500,000 contract signed by a qualified buyer, and she has a bottle of champagne and 2 glasses. And she says, just sold it in 1 day for full price, let's celebrate. Tell me how you feel. Do you feel like celebrating? If you're like most people, the first thought that's going to go through your mind is, you underlisted my house. I should have asked $550 or $575, all these years scrimping and saving and painting this stupid thing. You know what would have made you happy? Now it gets strange. $497.5. Because at $497.5, you can still pretend that you maximized your position. At $500, you can't pretend. You know you got hosed. The only question is how badly, and you'll never get an answer to that. 20 years ago, the typical net after-tax profit of American corporations was between 10 and 20%. Today, as we sit here, it's less than 4%. In fact, after-tax profit margins have been declining for the last half century. When you've got a 20% profit margin, you don't have to be a very good negotiator. When you've got a 4% profit margin, mistakes in negotiating can make the difference between making a profit and being underwater, between success or failure. I've spent a lifetime learning how to negotiate. And the essence of what I've learned, you'll be learning in the next few minutes. I'm going to be sharing with you the 6 best-kept secrets to powerful negotiating. All right, let's review the 6 critical rules. These 6 principles can make a huge difference in your career. 1, trade instead of just give. 2, start assertively high. 3, make steeply tapered concessions. 4, crunch early and often. 5, treat all the issues as a package. And 6, remember to nibble at the end. I challenge you to put these 6 principles to work. Just do these 6 things, and very soon you'll be negotiating like a pro.